Imagine walking into your own luxury jewelry store, only to be denied service by your own manager. How would you react? For Maya Johnson, the CEO of Golden Essence, it took just 5 minutes to make the most shocking decision of her career. What happened next will leave you speechless. If you're part of the Black Visionaries family, hit that like button right now and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories like this one. It was a typical Thursday afternoon in the heart of the city, but for Maya Johnson, the day was anything but ordinary. The CEO and founder of Golden Essence, a luxury jewelry brand she had built from the ground up, Maya had decided to make a surprise visit to her flagship store. Her company, now one of the top names in the luxury market, was known not only for its stunning, high-end jewelry, but also for its commitment to diversity, inclusion, and respect for every person, both customers and employees alike. Maya had worked tirelessly over the years to break barriers in an industry that was often seen as exclusive and elitist, and it had paid off. Golden Essence had become a symbol of excellence, and Maya had been at the forefront, leading with passion, vision, and a deep sense of responsibility to her team and her customers. She was proud of what she had achieved, but today, she wanted to see firsthand how her employees were engaging with customers and maintaining the company's standards. When Maya walked into the store, the elegant space greeted her with its usual luxurious ambiance. Polished display cases, shimmering jewelry, and the soft sound of ambient music filling the air. The store was busy, as always, with customers admiring pieces from the new collection. The staff, dressed in professional black attire, moved gracefully between the aisles, offering assistance and making sure every customer felt special. As Maya approached the counter, she noticed one of her store managers, Richard, in deep conversation with a customer. Maya had known Richard for years. He had started as an assistant and worked his way up to management. He was competent, dependable, until now. She stood back for a moment, watching him interact with the customer. His face was tight with focus, his smile polite, but not particularly warm. Maya didn't mind. After all, she wasn't there to judge his interactions. She was just observing. But then, Maya stepped forward. As she walked to the counter, Richard turned around, his gaze briefly scanning her face. There was no immediate sign of recognition, which she thought was odd. The store manager was supposed to recognize the founder of the company. After all, she had built this empire, and she had made sure every employee knew who she was. Still, she chalked it up to his focus on the customer, but as she approached, she felt the strange sensation that something was off. "Can I help you, ma'am?" Richard asked, his voice cool, almost dismissive. His eyes flicked over her without really focusing on her, a pattern she had become all too familiar with in a world where people often didn't expect a woman like her to be in charge. Maya froze for a moment, taken aback. She smiled politely, trying to remain composed. "I'm here to see the new collection, Richard," she replied, her voice steady, though she could feel a growing irritation building inside her. The cold tone he had used didn't sit well with her. Richard turned back to the customer he had been speaking to, clearly uninterested in engaging further with Maya. He continued his conversation, all the while ignoring her presence as if she didn't belong in the space she had created. This wasn't just about a lack of recognition, it was a clear sign of disrespect. Maya stood there, stunned for a moment. This was her store, her brand, and she had just been brushed off by the very person who was supposed to ensure customers received top-tier service. Maya took a deep breath, holding back the frustration that threatened to rise. She had spent years building this company, pouring her heart and soul into it. And now, in her own store, she was being treated like she was invisible. She wasn't going to let this go. Not this time. Not in her store. As Richard continued to focus on the customer, Maya took a step closer to the counter. She cleared her throat, deliberately loud enough to get his attention. "Richard," she said, her voice calm but firm. "I'm the one who owns this store. I'm the one who built this brand. And right now, I'm the one you're completely ignoring." Richard's head snapped up, his eyes widening in shock as recognition hit him. His face flushed with embarrassment, but Maya didn't let him off the hook that easily. She could see the wheels turning in his head as he tried to scramble for a response, but she was already ahead of him. "You treated me as if I didn't matter," she continued, her tone unwavering. "You didn't even offer me the basic respect a customer deserves, let alone someone who owns this company. and that's not acceptable. Richard opened his mouth to apologize, but Maya wasn't interested in excuses. "You're fired," she said, her words coming out with finality. "Pack your things and leave. Now." The words hung in the air, heavy and unyielding. Richard's eyes widened further. "What? You can't be serious," he stammered. "I'm very serious," Maya replied coolly. "You've proven that you don't share the values this store stands for. You're dismissed." The room went quiet. Employees who had been quietly observing the situation exchanged glances. Some of them were shocked by how quickly Maya had acted, but others felt a sense of pride. Maya had just demonstrated something they hadn't seen in years, a commitment to fairness and respect, no matter who was involved. Richard, still stunned, grabbed his things and stormed out of the store without another word. Maya stood there for a moment, her heart still racing, but her decision had been made. She couldn't let anyone, especially someone in a position of leadership, undermine the culture she had worked so hard to create. As soon as Richard left, Maya gathered the remaining staff members in the back office. The tension in the room was palpable. She knew they had witnessed something significant today, and she wanted to address it head-on. "Today, you all saw me fire Richard," Maya began, her voice calm but authoritative. "I didn't do that because of a single mistake. I did it because what he did wasn't just unprofessional, it was disrespectful, and that's something I won't stand for. This store, this brand, is built on values of respect, inclusion, and care for every person who walks through these doors. That's what we stand for, and I expect every one of you to uphold that." She paused, allowing the words to sink in. Respect is non-negotiable here. It doesn't matter who someone is, how much money they have, or what they look like. Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity. No exceptions. Maya looked around the room, meeting the eyes of every employee. She could see the realization dawn in their expressions. They understood what this meant. This wasn't just about the incident with Richard. This was about setting a standard for how people should treat one another, especially in her business. From that day forward, the store operated under a new set of expectations. Maya made sure her staff knew that her values would never be compromised, no matter the situation. Word of the incident spread quickly, and many customers were impressed by Maya's quick and decisive action. The decision to fire Richard had ripple effects, not just within her store, but throughout the business. Maya's commitment to inclusivity and respect became the foundation for a company culture that valued every employee, no matter their background. Her leadership, guided by integrity, helped her business thrive. The store saw an increase in customer loyalty, especially from people who had once felt alienated in luxury spaces. Maya's decision to prioritize respect over profit paid off. Her employees, empowered by her leadership, took more initiative, and customers began to feel that the store truly cared about them. Golden Essence wasn't just a jewelry brand. It became a symbol of what businesses could look like when people were valued. In the months that followed, the store flourished. Maya's leadership was recognized not just by her employees, but also by industry leaders who had been watching her rise. She became an advocate for inclusivity in luxury retail, speaking at conferences and offering workshops to other business owners about building cultures of respect. Golden Essence continued to grow, and Maya's vision was being realized in ways she had only dreamed of. But for Maya, the lesson was clear. Her company would always be about more than just selling jewelry. It would be about selling respect, dignity, and the belief that everyone, no matter who they were, deserved to feel like they belonged. Maya had created something far greater than just a successful business. She had created a legacy, one that would be remembered long after the jewelry had been sold and the customers had gone. The company was built on values that would never change, and Maya knew that as long as she was at the helm, that legacy would only grow stronger. She had taken a stand, and in doing so, she had changed everything for herself, for her employees, and for her customers. And that was something no one could ever take away from her. Before you go, make sure you subscribe right now and join the Black Visionaries family, because we're building a movement of stories that open eyes, touch hearts, and change lives. Until next time.